Oh, we're good.
We're live.
How are you?
Good, mate. Live at the gazebo.
Live in the gazebo.
Club Claire's Hacienda Spa and Resort. You can check in anytime you like. And you can
Please feel free to leave.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Eventually, please, bugger off. Get out of here. Yes, mate, episode
9.
9.
9.
How exciting, we're almost at 10.
I know. I'm starting to feel like a grown-up.
Wow, mate. Well,
I really shouldn't, but
that'd be the first time in your life, would it not?
Quite possibly. I'll let you know if I'm wrong on that.
So, episode 8 was a really fun episode for me as a Canadian. It was, a little bit of the videographer. It's his probably last cameo for a while.
Yeah.
Although he is here with us today, filming, of course.
And spare cam.
And spare cam, yes. This is Tropical Gazebo Cam, and that's, whatever the cam, that's videographer cam over there.
Just in regards to our last episode on the Canadian Club, for those who are wondering, yes, I did lose the game of pool due to a missed shot on my part, accidentally potting the black out of play.
Yes, I wasn't going to bring it up. I was not going to raise the fact that cue ball sunk the black ball.
But see, you didn't win. I lost.
Right. Okay, you can run with that. There's a win and a loss column in any of these sorts of sports that you play. All I know is my name gets placed in the win column, yours gets placed in the loss column. There's no pictures on the scorecard. It doesn't matter how it all happens. No. Any foul on the black is a foul on the black.
We'll continue with that at a later stage.
Yes. I'm sure we will have another match, a rematch. It'll be like, when Rocky took on Apollo Creed for the second time, big heavyweight fight.
A big freeze frame at the end.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're here at episode 9. It was a Canadian episode. It was fantastic. It was good fun to allow the videographer to express his beverage of choice.
Indeed.
Also, just want to give a shout out to VK and the Narrows, since the Canadian episode. Buddy Steve Van Kessel and his band back in Canada. Mate, loving the shirt. Thank you very much for this. We might even throw a little bit of one of the VK and the Narrows music. The videographer will slip a little bit of a soundtrack in there and put a link to where to get VK and the Narrows music from. Great band back in Canada. But that's enough of that. We are here today for episode 9 to talk about empty glasses.
In the gazebo, a little tropical.
Yes.
Now, as such, on a tangent from that, we're going to an island.
We're going to an island.
We are going to an island as such. This is a wonderful little... No.
That is what we are.
It's actually off the western coast of Scotland.
Oh. I'll kind of knew.
It is the Isle of Islay. Now, for those of you who are wondering, if you ever want to do a whiskey tour, this is one of the places that you really, really should go. I have my little list up here on my phone because
this is
my
the
brain
official
doesn't work.
BoozeBrothers.tv encyclopedia of all things.
Indeed. So there's the Isle of Jura Distillery, which I've never tried. Bruichladdich, which is absolutely sensational. Ardbeg, Bunhabban, or however you want to say it. Cal Ela, Bowmore, Kilchoman, Lafroig, and then there's these guys. Lagavulin. And yes, as you can see,
I'm overling Lagavulin already.
I have already cracked this one and only had a small nip out of it one night. It was just a starter for me because sometimes when you start off, you want to start off with something pretty serious, and this is quite a serious whiskey. This is their 12-year-old cask edition, a limited release, bottled 2014.
Wow.
So prior to that, 12 years in the bottle.
12 years
in the cask, I should say.
Yes.
And a few years in the bottle since then.
Still 12 years old, as we're well aware.
It's a wonderful light, pale colour. Rocks?
Since is this what smooth? Is it smoky? Is it?
It's very smoky, very peaty. It's a good example of an Islay Scotch whiskey because they do like their peat smoke there. So, but it has some lovely undertones.
Well, I'm going to put some rock. I'm going to go with one rock. How's that? Would you like a rock or not?
I'll have a single as well because that will actually soften it off very nicely. I do love a bottle with a cork in it, much as I like putting a cork in somebody else's bottle.
But there you go. That's for another episode, as it were.
Well, shut up, put a cork in it.
Yes.
As you can see, beautiful light colour. And that real peatiness on the nose, but there's a hint of the sweetness there as well, which is absolutely splendid.
Yeah, you can smell the
So as we've discussed before, when they're drying the mash, they quite often add peat to their fires to actually get a bit more smokiness into the whiskey, and this is a really, really good example of how that can come through.
So if you were working at a whiskey distillery and your name was Pete, you'd want to make sure that you're... okay, we need to put more peat in the fire.
Especially if your name was Pete Moss.
Yeah. We need to put more peat in the fire. No, my name's not Pete, honestly.
All right. So
Shall we?
It's getting into the rocks already. It's starting to dilute and
About to get our rocks off, as it were.
Cheers.
Cheers, my good friend.
Oh, that is so good. It is so good. There's
I'm,
a lot of warmth in that.
I'm
because,
surprised.
as we've discussed before, the warmth generally relates to the alcohol content, and this bad boy, I think, ticks in at quite possibly the highest alcohol content we've had so far at 54.4%.
Wowzers.
So it's
That's yeah.
it's definitely a
54.4.
drink it at home or get a lift in a cab.
Yes, this is definitely the drink responsibly type of whiskey. Absolutely a Scotch whiskey because it is from Scotland, even though it's from
That's
the
right.
the little Isle of Islay.
The Isle of Islay off the coast of Glasgow.
Yeah, that's not near Isla Bonita, is it? Where?
No, La Isla Bonita.
La Isla Bonita. Sorry.
Yes, that's Spanish.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely stunning, and it softens off really well with a bit of, even with just a dash of water, as opposed to on the rockers.
Yeah, and once again, from a bottle point of view, very classy looking bottle. Even got the little tape, the seal.
We've got the seal around the top. Of course, we've taken the seal off that.
1816 Isla on the bottle. I don't know if we'll be able to get you guys to see this.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to find out. He's going to take that over there.
Yeah. Very classy little bottle. Got the little seal of approval on it. Yeah. Very nice little drop there. So if you measure your Scotch or whiskeys by the bottle, this is a pretty classy little one, I think. One of the nicer looking bottles that we've seen.
Oh, look, and quite a simple labelling. Same with the box that it comes in.
Yes.
Quite simple, quite basic.
Very elegant, though. Very, very simple but elegant. Once again, very stylish, classy.
Well, that's it.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the psyche of the, obviously, the consumer. There's, especially for those beverages that we don't talk about on the show, labeling has a significant amount to do with people's initial choices.
Absolutely.
And once again, in Scotch it may or may not. But if you want to position this as a high-end Scotch, what would this sort of retail for as a bottle?
Look, I'm not actually sure if it's still
here?
readily available. I think there are a few bottles still floating around. It's around the sort of 150 to 170 mark, depending on where you shop. And well worth it. I mean, it's very much a whiskey lover's whiskey with that real heavy peat and smokiness, but there's a glorious sweetness there. And it's a great one for me. I've had other Lagavulins in the past, and I had the opportunity to get my hands on this one and just jumped at it straight away.
Yeah, and once again, I'm much more the smooth Scotch kind of guy, and I've had a few of the peaty ones. The Talisker gets a bit peaty and on the taste, but this once again is, I guess, for the price range, I shouldn't be surprised. But if you don't like a bourbon, if you don't like a rum, if you don't like a whatever, it's because you haven't tried the right one. And no different. Same if you don't like a peaty, smoky flavor in your whiskey or your Scotch, it's probably because you haven't tried the right one.
Not sure exactly where the distillery is located because it's something that's only just popped to mind. There is another distillery called
Port Ellen.
Oban, O-B-A-N. Theirs is a very, very soft peatiness, and there's almost a hint of salt in a couple of their whiskies, which is actually quite stunning. It's something else to really experience.
This is
I would bring that one along, but I drank it.
Okay, yeah. Slowly over a period of time, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Savoured it well and truly.
Yeah, so this is from Port Ellen in the Isle of Islay.
The Isle of Islay, yes. Not a huge location, but jam-packed with quality whiskey distillers, as we said, western coast of Scotland.
Yeah. Now there's we should do a little bit of research on that one as well, because someone was telling me about the Isle of Islay. I think I mentioned to you the other week about a whiskey or scotch there. Trying to remember the name of it, but we'll get a sample of that if we can get on here. But anyone on the island can have a drink of it for free, apparently.
Look, all the more reason to pay a visit, I say.
Well, the point to move there.
Well, that's it. I mean, it's like, where would you like to live? On an island in the middle of, 4 or 5 of the world's highest regarded distilleries. Don't mind if I do. It'd be like, if you were an appreciator of rums, given the opportunity to go and live somewhere like Barbados.
Absolutely.
You jump at it because you're in the middle of rum country there, and why not?
I've been to the original Bacardi distillery, actually.
You're a lucky man.
Yes.
I do like Bacardi rum. We should we will do an episode on Bacardi rum at some stage.
I think we should. But the the Scots, God love them for bringing out whiskey or scotch, golf.
Yeah.
Not sure about the haggis and the kilt thing, but hey, to each
whatever
their own.
blows your skirt up.
yeah. But you done good with golf and scotch. Good for you, hey.
Oh look, I can't complain. And you can't really see it, but there's literally a fingernail-sized piece of ice left in my glass now. So of course that water from the ice is softening up the whiskey ever so nicely, and it's becoming more and more pleasant as it does so.
Yeah. So 30 standard drinks in that particular bottle with the 54.4.
54.4%.
Yeah. Most famous distillery, this lively and clean expression of what was for a whiskey writer, Michael Jackson. I didn't know Michael Jackson was a whiskey writer.
Well, apparently so. I don't think it was the Michael Jackson, the king of pop, though.
Mate, did you find... I'm going to blow that, aren't I?
You fucked it up.
Didn't I?
You did.
Did you find it appropriate? Let me finish. Did you find it appropriate to put your feet up on my table? I wasn't finished.
Oh, come on. But
Mate.
you can throw in a dad joke anytime you like.
We'll get the videographer to edit that and we'll do it again.
What the hell with it?
Yeah, what the hell with it? So anyway, you threw me with Michael Jackson, mate. Like, come on. Islay's most complex malt. This must be a female malt.
It could possibly be.
You can scratch that one too. I'll be in big trouble. Sorry, ladies. I do apologize.
No, by all means, dig your own hole. Mate.
Yes, yeah.
I'm just going to sit over here and ignore him.
Yes, after ruining your joke. So, Nigel, did you lose a thong, mate?
No, you missed it. You stuffed it up. I'm not happy now. Seriously.
See, I'm better at the punchlines than telling the jokes, mate. I'm usually the joke. It's like, you threw me. We'll get it again, I'm sure, in another one.
In a minute.
Please.
Oh, look, a thong.
Yeah. Gentle, fresh aromas and a delicious toffee and fruit sweetness. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying it a little bit more than normal. Add water and and those clean scents are softer. I should have brought my glasses. Accompanied now by a subtle interplay of mint and wood smoke. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a very, very complex taste.
On the palate, it's an intense, sweet, and oily with lime. Wow. Zest. Who writes this shit? Jesus Christ. This is like, I feel like I'm reading a novel here, a romance novel. I'm falling in love at the moment.
It's ones like this where they say there is that much complexity in the taste.
He reached to her with his intense palate.
Part of me
sweet and
wishes
oily.
I haven't destroyed my palate over the years by smoking, but
This isn't 50 Shades of Scotch.
Yeah, it's 50. It is 50 Shades of Lagavulin. It's like the yes, as it zests wreathed with wood smoke. While when water is added, it's like eating a slice of rich fruitcake.
should I leave you two alone, or what?
Not only just a fruitcake, but a fruitcake near a wood stove.
I'm just going to sit over here.
Tasted neat, the finish is long and warming, with sweet wood smoke. With water, it has a delicate sweetness. With fresh cut pine and autumn smoke, this Lagavulin, free from worries. with a lighter spring in its step. Stay tuned for episode 2. The Lagavulin life.
Almost felt like before you started on that, we should have asked everyone if they were sitting comfortably.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know about you, but I need a cigarette. Like, you know, it's all about the story. I mean, like now then I'm like, yeah, like that does have all that. That's so cool.
Well, I mean, that's one of the best thing about whiskies is there are
I feel like we should have brought
so
a tie
many
or
stories.
something and just read it to me.
Pour me like one of your French wines.
Yes. I'm trying to work out, is the whiskey the submissive or the dominant in this relationship?
I think a few glasses of that would definitely dominate you with that kind of alcohol strength in there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Limited edition, bottled in 2014. Very, very nice drop.
Splendid.
I am smitten.
I'm a big fan. It took me a while in trying some of the Islay whiskies to get used to the peatiness. And this one is, as with quite a lot of the Lagavulins, is quite heavy with the peat smoke, and it's just something different. I think that's the best thing about it is it's not just a gloriously soft whiskey. It's got that real earthy tone there, and those beautiful underlying fruit flavours and sweetness there as well.
So, if you want to learn more about the 50 Shades of Islay, check out the Isle of Islay.
It's Islay.
Yes. Yeah, very, very impressed. I think we need to start rating this bad boy.
I got to tell you, mate, this
I sense this is gonna put the Dalwhinnie on warning. I think the Dalwhinnie's gonna be, in your mind, you're gonna rattle the Dalwhinnie cage with this one, I think.
I might have to.
It might have been the way I articulated the beautiful story that has just changed your whole...
This is, I'll be perfectly honest, I think this is actually my third bottle of this particular whiskey. Because it was just a fortunate timing that when I purchased it, I was a little affluent and thought, why the heck
Were
not?
you in Gay Paris at the time?
No.
Do we have a spare beret? Hello, sailor.
I splurged, all right? I bought 3. It's my last one. So.
You mean the shirt or the bottle?
The bottle.
Oh, sorry, just checking.
The bottle. God damn it.
So, are you going to give a score?
Look, as much as I'm trying to be conservative for this,
Got to go with your gut, man. Go with your heart.
10.79.
Oh, that's a big number.
It's a big number, but it's a big whiskey.
That's like
And it's
0.21
so
below
damn
the
good.
top score.
I know.
10.79.
I know, but just the sheer complexity on the taste, and the fact, and I think the higher alcohol content means that you really do take your time with it, and you really do savor it. At least I do.
Yeah, 10.79. And this will be surprising you as a non-Peaty Moss kind of. Ian Moss, don't mind him, like his music. Pete Moss, not a big Pete Moss guy though. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if it had me at hello.
Shut up. You had me at hello.
Or whether you needed the rest of the story.
Yeah,
Don't hold back.
Whoa. And I'm going to just erase my mind of my previous Dalwhinnie score because I don't remember. This tells you the power of a great story. Because until I'd read that and then I was taking another sip, I wasn't as much. I mean, I loved it, but then I'm like, just to think that much has gone into this, the romance that's been added to the scotch, I'm going to give it a 10.31.
Wow.
Yeah, I like this.
Wow.
Which is a big 21.1. Which is like 10.55 or something like that, off the top of my...
That's out of your number one then.
It might be. I think that might rattle the cage. 10.55. So we'll have to have a look, and we might be like a little bit of a Dalwhinnie...
Oh, I think this will...
1, 2, 3,
Even though it's the younger of the two contenders, I think it would knock the Dalwhinnie
You're out.
out.
Wow.
Just that additional punch and that
I would never have thought.
heavy peatiness. I love it.
I would never
really
have
do.
thought. Because now is Dalwhinnie from the Isle of Islay?
No.
No.
Dalwhinnie's a mainlander still.
Ah, see. There you go.
But that's not to say they do a lesser job on what they do.
So, what's the chance that many of our viewers would have actually be able to get access to this bottle, or not this particular one, but this?
The Lagavulin itself is available in most fine liquor retailers. I do know of one or two particular stores in town that may have a bottle or two of this left.
Look around the world, Lagavulin.
Inbox me, I'll tell you.
Yes, send it, and Q-Ball will give you all the places to go to get that from, no problems. Yeah, mate, very impressed. I am absolutely gobsmacked. I'm smitten, as I said.
Smitten like an island kitten.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just made that up. It's pretty bad.
That is very bad. So, seriously, now tell me, did you lose the thumb?
No, mate, I found one. So if you have lost one, give me a call.
Yes.
Yes. No,
So-
you still haven't made up for that.
No, I
Sorry.
apologize. So anyway, I think that's a great chance to draw to a close episode 9
Yes.
with the 12-year-old Lagavulin.
Lagavulin, Lagavulin.
Lagavulin.
I'm sure someone will correct us on our pronunciation.
Lady Lagavulin. Whichever it is, I would hazard a guess, the number one on the Travis Jarrola leaderboard.
Oh, yeah.
We may just find that out.
We might have to actually make one up.
We have
if
one.
nothing else, we'll get a whiteboard.
Yes, you would have seen it at the end of episode 8, and episode 9 it'll be up there with the new score. So, yes, we'll find out. Anyway, to close as always,
Cheers, my friend.
pour me a drink.
Son of
Son
a
of a
bitch,
bitch.
give me a drink. One of the night, on this camping me. Son of a bitch, if I drink it clean, I'm gonna drink my life away.
That is good sensation.
That's so good.
That is impressive.